no bus car, taxi men should be, or taxi woman should be in the background. All right, it should be just like on my background. Welcome back to my channel. Welcome. Hey, welcome. Anyways, welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for clicking on this video, and thank you so much for watching. So in today's video, I will be giving you some tips on how to do your introductory video for an ESL teaching position here in China. So first and foremost, your introductory video do not need to be more than a minute long. That is 60 seconds. It doesn't need to be longer than that. All right, so I'll be looking down to share some of my notes because of course I have to document. You know this, right? You've been riding with me for a while. All right, so first and foremost, you want to mention your name, because if not your name, then whose name, right? So your employer needs to know you. And of course, they'll also see this on your resume when you have it sent with your intro video. But very importantly, you want to state your name in that video. All right. After stating your name, importantly, you want to make sure you make mention to the fact that you are from a native English speaking country and you identify that country. So it will look something like this. Hello, my name is Tasheena. I'm from a native English speaking country, Jamaica. Something to that effect, all right? So that will be what it will look like. Now, for your intro video, very important to note is that you want to ensure that you are wearing an appropriate top. And I say top because your entire body doesn't need to be showing. It doesn't need to be showing. No, just like you're seeing my head to my, you're seeing my head to my chest. You can show a little bit below your chest, or you can show the same. That's all they need to see. Your background should be plain like this. Not as boring as this, but it can be as plain. You don't want to include a background that has so much going on and is so distracting from what you are saying. Also importantly, you don't want a noisy environment. Of course not. Because if you can't hear me, my viewers, what's the point of the video, right? So it's the same with the employer. They can't hear you clearly and your background is noisy. It's going to take away from what you need to project and say to them. All right, so you should not be doing an introductory video on the roadside.
Wait a minute, who are you?
That it goes without saying. We should not be walking on the roadside to do any introductory video. No bus car, taxi men should be, or taxi woman should be in the background. All right, it should be just like how my background is very quiet, plain background, and you know you're hearing me, so it's not taking away from the message that I am saying or projecting to you. All right, you want to ensure that in your video you speak as slowly as possible. For me, I speak generally fast. So of course, if you're a person like me who speaks very fast, you want to ensure that you pay attention to this and you are very deliberate in speaking very slow. Because remember, English is not their first language. It would be a second language for them. And in spite of the fact that they would be your person reviewing your document, it does not necessarily mean that, you know, they can speak very fast for them to be able to understand. Sometimes they would probably have to replay. So to prevent all of that, you just speak very slowly. You ensure you pronounce your words correctly and properly, and of course speak without your local accent. So they want to hear a bit of an accent-free speech. I mean, you have different employers that will be reviewing, so while this for some won't be a very big thing, they are going for the UK and the American accent. So if you can speak as accent-free as possible, then kudos to you. All right, let's see. Smile in your introductory video. Let your personality ooze out, you know? Let it be a reflection of you. And at the same time, it's still professional. So you want to strike a balance. So you smile and let yourself appear to be very pleasant to the person that will be reviewing your video. Very important to note. You can decide to either sit. In this video, I am sitting. So you can decide to either sit or stand. It doesn't matter. But like I mentioned, it's not necessary for them to see your full body. So either way, it's just going to be your head to your chest that you'd need to show. Because they just want a face to put with your resume and to see how you present yourself. You know, so you want to ensure you give a very good first impression. Yeah. After mentioning your name and the fact that you're from a native English speaking country, you want to speak to your educational background. Now, if you're a bachelor's older, you're a master's degree older, you speak to this. Now, it doesn't necessarily mean that you have to have a bachelor's degree that is in teaching. It doesn't necessarily mean that. All right, so but you want to ensure that you have identified what your educational background is. All right, now after doing so, you want to straight away make mention to whether or not you have teaching experiences. Now, for the persons who are not teacher trained, however, you will be coming to China or you'll be considering, what I suggest is that you capitalize on those moments where you may have interacted with children and you just talk about how much you love the interaction with the children and how much you have helped them and how you felt about it. All right, but if you have teaching experience, definitely you can share your teaching experience and what your classroom environment is like, whether it be student-centered or teacher-centered, which we know it's the 21st century, so most environments are going for student-centered learning, right? So yes, you can make mention to that. So not to worry for those who are not teacher trained, just ensure that you make mention to your interaction with persons or students or children, wherever, in whatever context, you know, what you have helped them with and how you feel, because your employer is going to look on your facial expression to see, you know, whether that passion is coming through in what you're saying. So that leads to my next point. Ensure that, pay attention now, ensure that your physical facial expression is actually agreeing to your words. So your body language or your facial expression needs to be in agreement with your words. So for example, I'm so passionate about teaching, and does my facial expression says I'm passionate? Oh, I'm very passionate about teaching. I love when the kids are playing and they're talking. That gives a more vivid, and you know, you get what I'm saying. You can see the passion when you're bubbly, you're smiling, you're excited about the interaction, and employers are looking for this. So you want to ensure you sell yourself, and you sell yourself well and not short. All right, let's see. All right, so you want to also mention that you have completed 120 hours for your TEFL certificate. So it can sound something like this. And I've completed my 120 hours and was awarded with my TEFL certificate. Now, the TEFL certificate gives you the opportunity to teach English. Basically, that's your certificate, especially for those who are not teacher trained or those who are trained teachers but have only 1 year teaching experience or none as yet. So that's what gives you the go ahead to teach English here in China. All right. Now, and if you have not yet checked out my previous videos, please go ahead and do so. I would have made mention to the requirements. I would make mention to the authentication process and all the other videos. At this moment, use the opportunity to subscribe if you like the content so far. It will definitely aid in me growing here on YouTube. All right, let's continue. You want to dress nicely. I think I would have touched on this. Seeing as your introductory video is the first introduction or the first, so to speak, interaction with your employee, you want to ensure you present yourself nicely. So it therefore means, although you would not be going physically for an interview as we do in Jamaica, you would still need to present yourself very nicely, because it says whether you're professional. So for example, you're doing an interview, you're doing the introductory video, and you're in spaghetti straps, no sleeves. That's not something you want to do. You don't want to give that first image. All right. So also, if you have a friend, it's very good to find a friend who have completed the process, or make a new friend who is already here in China or have completed the process, so that they can also, boost your confidence and give you suggestion as to what to include in your introductory video. All right, so that can be helpful as well. All right, so on to the filming aspect. So if you are filming your video by yourself, you want to ensure that you have a stationary object on which you put your camera or your phone, or you put it somewhere where it's not going to be moving at all, because you don't want you're here talking and then your video is your phone is moving or your camera is moving or it fell. It's gonna cost you. So you want to ensure that it's properly secured somewhere. You want to ensure that the lighting is proper as well, where your face can be seen. You want to ensure your device can project your voice clearly as well. And also, I did make mention to the aesthetic of the environment. You want to ensure that, it's noise free and the background isn't as, distracting, basically. So definitely ensure you have good lighting and your voice is projecting. If you want, and I definitely recommend this, you can go ahead and do your mock intro videos. These are your practice videos where you go ahead and do them and critique yourself, and whatever you find that you could have improved on or you could have said, you can include in your final video. Now this segue into my next point. You can definitely write, you can create a script, write what it is that you want to say, because if you're anything like a person who writes and remember, that will definitely help you, and overall it projects a level of organization. So you want to ensure that you go ahead and write down what it is you want to say, and then you practice in your mock video, and then you critique or have others critique as well. And then you go ahead and create your final product and have that submitted through your human resource person or the recruiter you are using. All right. Ensure you set your camera horizontally, because you don't want it to be too long, and then how it's gonna appear. You saw my book. How it's gonna appear is too much like this. You want it long and full and just full, basically. So you want to set your camera properly. All right, be confident in your introductory video, not overly confident or come off too, but be confident in what you're saying and also comfortable, So even if you're nervous, it's understandable. No need to show it though. So mask it very well, but be comfortable. So you want to ensure you're wearing something that is comfortable, where you're sitting or standing is comfortable for you as well, right? So that is very, very important to note. You want to go ahead and feel comfortable. All right, on to my last point on your tips for the introductory video for teaching ESL in China. Now, you want to ensure that you also give them a feel of who you are in terms of possibly your hobbies. You can make mention to these things that you love and enjoy, because they're interested in you as a person as well. But you don't want to let your intro video be so packed with this, but you can include one or two, your interests or your hobby. All right, so that's that for the tip for doing your introductory video for ESL teaching in China. It's a bit of a bonus tips of persons who are coming to China or looking to come to China, but you are not teacher trained. All right, it would be helpful if you liaison or befriend someone who is already in the environment, China, that you are going. So you can get some tips and some ideas. Aside from that, you can also conduct your personal researches, whether that be doing your Google or you can go ahead and watch YouTube videos. Quite a few persons are doing contents where they demonstrate how to do different teaching, and in most cases the flow of a lesson for a demo lesson can be quite similar to an ordinary lesson. All right, so these can give you an idea. Also important to note is that your potential employer, you can ask of them that they present you with a teaching flow, so you see what is expected, and you can have that explained to you as well, so and can prepare yourself for that. Just be yourself, enjoy the teaching, don't be too serious. Yes, you want to ensure that you're fun. So whatever level you're teaching, ensure that you are comfortable and the students are comfortable with you. So you want to be approachable to them. So those are the tips that I would give you. And also you just want to basically liaison with someone who is here, who can tell you, from their experience, so you're a little bit open to the possibilities of what can happen in yours. But in a general sense, it's a nice place to come and start your teaching journey for those who are not teacher trained. The students are not bad students. They're well mannered. You'll have different behavioral issues like talking or some being a bit lazy, but nothing like what we are used to in Jamaica. So in that sense, I hope these few tips can give you a bit of an idea of what your teaching environment will look like. I will definitely create a video to give you an idea what the ASL teaching flow is, so you can stay tuned for that or watch it. Thank you so much for watching this video. Do have yourself a wonderful day. Bye.